everybody, this is Miss G and with some hot tea today, and my name is Gaynor Milky, and T stands for Trauma, Empowerment, and Action. And we don't want to spend too much time on trauma because it's a bit of a buzzword, but we all go through hard things, and one of the books that I've put together for you is called Everyday Higher, and I crossed out harder because I know that we all go through tough things. I have, you have, so that's trauma when they kind of stick with us and shadow over things. But we want to feel empowered because there's a lot of things that we can do, enlightened, and also to take action so that we can move forward. And speaking of moving forward, in the last video I talked about the SOW technique, which is from Paul Friedman's The Marriage Foundation training. And SOW in his world starts with S for stop, E for evaluate, and W for a workaround. And I think this works for not only marriage, but for basically all situations. When you're facing something that's an issue or causing you an issue, the first thing is to stop, is to be able to put the brakes on it, and that might take some work. I know with whether it's an eating disorder or an alcohol addiction or anything like that, I mean, obviously you need to stop the behavior. But even in our everyday life, if you find yourself getting frustrated easily, we need to stop yelling at people or stop doing the detrimental thing, evaluate if this is helping us or hurting us or somebody else, and then find a workaround for it. And that's very simple in the way it's stated, but very powerful, and also very difficult to do right off the bat, especially if you have entrenched patterns. I actually like to add at the end maybe a different W, which is work through it, because I think internally you also have to work through the resistance of perhaps I don't want to stop doing that. Well, why is that? And if you want the something better, then you're going to need to figure that out as well. And that's a process. And you could also put another W there of write. I'm a big proponent of writing out your thoughts so that you release them, and then you can go back and really look at them as well. So that is the SOW technique from Paul Friedman and the Marriage Foundation. And I think it's a really useful tool that we can all use, whether we are actually sewing or not. So here's to doing a little bit of sewing in the next week if you have something that you're really stuck on. And for today, I'll say until we have our next cup of tea, this is Miss G.